Hi there. Just thought I'd do a reading this morning after the events of last night, just to see where we're at and how we can focus our energy going forward. I know there's a lot of anxiety and dismay, and certainly for me, born in 1970, I've seen a lot of debates. I've seen a lot of heartbreak in politics in my country. I've had my hopes up and I've had my hopes dashed. And I've learned to focus broader than just electoral politics, even though it's a really interesting way to feel connected to a bunch of people that live in my country. And I understand also that they can have larger global implications as well. So I just thought I'd ask the tarot to tell us a story today about where we're at and what we need to know as we go forward, whoever we are, whoever's coming here. There's not that many of you that come here. It took me a while to calm down this morning, but I did get some moments to sit out in the woods in this dried up wash. It's still beautiful. Got quiet enough to see little creatures moving around in the grass around me. Watch my dog's tail as he sniffed around at other little creatures in the grass, and just to get grounded, to catch my breath, and to wonder, what now? What's happening now? So I'm going to cut this deck and we will see what it tells us. Okay, first card is the recent past, and we get the World. That is a card that means wholeness, but it also means that something is over, the end of something, the end of a cycle. We'll come back and talk more about that as we go. We'll clarify and everything. But first, let's get this basic narrative out here. The present is fast-moving energy, communication, travel. I am seeing very clearly the river and the mountain here underneath these wands, which signify willpower, creativity. I'm just very much noticing the sky in the background. I saw this Maori speaker talk about the land that she's from, and to identify her identity and her relationship to the land in her tradition was to name her mountain and to name her river, to name the ocean. That reminds me of that. Makes me think about my moment this morning, sitting down and calming myself and breathing. Okay, we have generosity as our hidden influence. Yes, I see hierarchy here as well, as if you've been watching these, you know. So we have Six of Pentacles, earthly, work-related. I really see this person here who is receiving some breadcrumbs. And that is a kind of cruel thing that you can do in interpersonal relationships, which is just breadcrumb people, just give them a little hope. So I think I can see how that is happening. I also really noticed that he's holding a set of scales here, which makes me always remember that there will be balance here. So we'll find out. That's our hidden influences, things that we may or may not have seen yet. It's sort of in the background behind us. And then this is us. This is us. This is us. This is a lot of my friends after last night, anxious, insomnia. I did not feel that way last night. We'll clarify that. That must be you. I had a very positive feeling last night. So let's see. Here we go. This is the people in your life. That's how I felt last night. I felt like the sun. I felt wish fulfillment, sort of a naive and optimistic joy. I mean, this is the happiest card in the deck, they tell us. These are the tarot readers I watch. So the people in your life might be able to offer you that perspective. When you're here, it can be very grating to be around people who are in a state of the sun. And that is me today. I'll try to tone it down. But I do think that if we tune into the generosity in the background, the energy that we're feeling in the present, and the very positive people around us who are working towards goodness, that we can shift out of this mode here, which is the Nine of Swords. Okay, and now our advice. Our advice is victory. Again, wands, willpower, passion, creativity. Here is victory riding this horse, standing above the crowd. It's a white horse. I see the green cloak that the horse is wearing. I see the laurels. People watching. This person seems serious to me in their victory today. Let's see. We'll find out more about this advice. Sometimes this can mean to be aware of what you have going for you and of your accomplishments, to recognize your worth, and also to not worry so much about the rest of the people. I definitely tend to feel concerned about my fellow voters in election time. And then we get, for the future, the Queen of Cups. She is emotionally mature. She wears her heart on her sleeve. She is open with her heart, generous. I see all of the colored stones at her feet. Very often people point out the baby underneath her. This person can be someone who is creative, reproductive. So we could take the future prediction here as anticipation of the rise of a feminine consciousness here. So something has ended. There's a great deal of action, energy, passion in the present. We have the Six of Pentacles, hidden energy, anxiety in the querent you. People around you are very happy. And the advice is Six of Wands, future Queen of Cups. Okay, I definitely want to know more about this story here. So we will clarify with the Light Seers deck today. See what we can learn. Okay, what do we know about what has ended? What has ended? I'm very curious. I can think of some things I'd like to think have ended. So let's see here. The World clarified. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. And we have the Six of Swords. Well, I always see this Two of Wands. Here she is looking out the window, and somebody read this on the Tarot channel as this kind of experience of sheltering in place. This card traditionally is about asking for what you want, manifesting, and then waiting. You can see traditionally the figure holds the earth in their hands. This one, the earth here is represented in the globe. And outside we see sunrise, sunset. I feel sunset. It goes with the end. We have the duplication here of the world and of the sun going down. So I'm going to interpret that as reiteration of an ending and of a waiting for the next thing to come in. And secondly, we have the Seven of Wands, and she is representative of a certain strategy of resistance. She's in her pink bubble. She's ignoring all of the wands, which might be other people, other ideas, other wishes for her. And she has gone inward. It makes me think of my meditation this morning. She has her solar plexus lit up here, which I don't usually notice. So I'm drawn to notice that today. So that is in the chakras. I want to just say I know very little, but this is where my self-defense is, where my strength is, my willpower is in my solar plexus. And then we have a journey, a taking leave. This is swords, intellectual, of the mind. She has a bag packed. It's a fairly lonely journey here. So if I think about something coming to an end, I have felt all summer in the Seven of Wands, in this self-protective bubble. I felt my solitude, and this is another expression of that solitude. All of these cards are about solitude, about healing and gathering and envisioning, and doing it in a solitary way. And so this illuminates for me what has recently been happening, and the world tells us is coming to an end. So let's see what's happening or came to an end recently. So maybe we're leaving our isolation and joining this Eight of Wands, which is in the present, is kind of energy of the collective. Let's see. All right, we get the Fool. This is the perfect card to follow the world. This is the new beginning, leaping off the edge. She is careless, carefree. She's holding a big giant gem in her hand. This to me is about shifting values away from materialism, objects, things that signify wealth, like this gem. And she carelessly holds it over the abyss, which is the unknown. And I see the ocean rising here. I see a whirlpool. I see the beautiful sort of, almost makes me think of a black hole or a gate in space operas, the way to travel into the next universe here. So I see this on a much larger scale than I normally do, which is kind of exciting. The world ends, and we jump into this gate that's going to take us to another world. There's a lot of movement, wind here, and this youthful, open-hearted person just leaning out over it, ready to take that leap of faith. Then we have the Ace of Swords, the new idea, the truth, this kind of what comes into our minds when we meditate, the deep truth, that stairway behind her, that stairway in her mind. This makes me think also of a shell. And there's lots of math around her and geometric shapes. And she is calm, receiving this new truth. So we have the Ace of Swords, a new truth. This is our present. And finally, we have the Hermit. The Hermit is another going alone, knowing alone. I see the stairs again. So we're seeing ups and downs, ascensions here, gates, portals. She is actually not sitting on the earth at all. So we move from recent past of this meditative state to this one. This is kind of with the Ace of Swords and the Fool. This is a kind of knowing, envisioning. The light is definitely related to the truth and the illumination that is coming in. right? And we're clarifying this fast moving energy and message. Okay, well, let's see. I don't see a huge leap into community here. Honestly, I still see a very solitary process, one though in which perhaps you're connecting energetically with your collective. And so if we think about that Eight of Wands as about communication, it's not happening in groups of three, which is often how we see this. We do see the Six of Pentacles as a hidden energy. Here's a party. So this is the Four of Wands. This means everything is out on the surface. You have clarity, visibility, passion. It's visible though. So it's interesting that this is our hidden influences here. And this is also very much about finding those who are like you, those who you're safe with, those who you have fun and play with. And we're clarifying the Six of Pentacles here with this. So maybe you're feeling alone and you can become aware of what you are not currently aware of, which is your collective. We'll see. We have the Hierophant. This joyful person, another stairway, another portal into another universe. This deck has a lot of people sitting on, in grounded positions. And the Hierophant in the tarot means institutions. But in this deck, this person feels rebellious to me of institutions and liberated from them in a way that I really like. I'm offered another way to conceptualize the institutions around me. I see his laugh. I see these women dancing and with their tambourine. I see the generosity of the Six of Pentacles, and a kind of relationship between those who have and those who have not, which I think of as loving and generous when I look at it today. And then we have also in the background the Ten of Swords. This is another ending. This is really like a heartbreak kind of ending, and it is dead. It's usually a guy stabbed 10 times, dead, on the ground, just completely, just the corpse. And her swords are about her and those birds, when she is walking towards a light. Again, I see the next world. I see this kind of, this light, that you walk up these stairs to this light. Lots of stairways here, lots of opportunities to go up into the next world. I do feel that we have been living in apocalypse, and it's not clear that it's over yet, but we are beginning to see the next place that we go to. I'm certainly focusing on envisioning the next world and opening myself up to being a part of creating that. So I feel this. I was laughing last night at that ridiculous spectacle of a debate. I've never seen anything that ridiculous, and that I don't even know. Nine of Swords. We're worrying. Let's talk about you, my friend. Why are you in the Nine of Swords? Oh, let's see. The world is ending. Yes, I'm sorry, the wheel. You are waiting on divine timing. The world has ended, and you are waiting to see what is next. And it's out of your control. Powerlessness is very uncomfortable for most of us. There is also a kind of freedom in it too, where you can just surrender everything that you're powerless over and trust that it will come in. This is also a very lucky card. So you're in Nine of Swords, but the tarot is saying you're lucky. There's a destined event happening here that is particularly about you, your family. You also are intuitively connected. You have the High Priestess. You are the High Priestess. So you may be powerless, but you do have access to connection through the intuitive. And she is a very powerful, intuitive person, very beautiful, peaceful, in that blue attire. I see at her neck this necklace for some reason, and I see her bare shoulders. I'm drawn to think of her, the strength of our shoulders, right? We can bear this. We can wait for this. We can put our minds to the next portal, to the next universe, to the next world. What else? And there is this passionate, beautiful person, the Queen of Wands, who is manifesting right out of her palm. You're surrounded by light, victorious with her wand. This makes me think of your advice, which was victory. And the candles here and the stars and the moon here, they make me think. I mean, I'm just called to think in this reading of the universe, of the bigness of everything, that we're just little in it, and it can be very scary to have no power, but we're a part of something much bigger, cosmic, of a cosmic power. And let's see, I feel like, let's clarify, who are the people around you? There seems to me to be a fool here, a hermit here, a hierophant, lots of powerful guides and presence within you and your world. The Wheel, the High Priestess, the Queen of Wands. But who is this Sun? Who are the people, or who is the person in your life? You get the King of Pentacles. This dude has everything. He's a super nice, stable guy. Usually I think he's kind of boring. But boring's nice when you're in the middle of an apocalypse. He's got lots of books, and he's got a really loyal and true dog. No wonder he's in the Sun mode here, right? This person is secure. And I think of this rich person who's giving very generously in this particular story that is unfolding here. We have fulfillment. This person is emotionally fulfilled. They're actually letting go of this material wealth in order to just have this ecstasy in the cups and the emotions with that light, right? And think back to that Seven of Wands when she had her solar plexus lit up with a gold light. You see lots of gold light being built here, coming out of the Hierophant's head. I mean, we see, even in the Ten of Swords, this light at the end of this stairway. The Hermit, the Ace of Swords, the Fool, all are surrounded with this golden light. They're just opening up to that, to the Sun, to joy, to happiness, to wish fulfillment. This is a reassurance here that everything is going to be all right. The people around you know that, right? He's got that gold pentacle right there on his knee. No wonder he's calm. And thirdly, these people around you, they are the magician. They are manifesting, again, the gold light. They have all the tools. He is surrounded by light. He is intent in manifesting this portal to the next world. That's why he feels free. That's why he's this crazy naked baby on this white horse with his freak flag flying, surrounded by sunflowers. Because this magician, they are just focusing on making it come into the 3D, that new world that beautiful, socially just, healthy planet that we all are awake to, the need to manifest and build that together. Okay. Your advice is victory, the 6 of Wands. And let's see what this deck says about that. Let's a little bit more information. All right. So I like how the victory card says, hey, look, you're victorious. This person reiterates that. Look behind you, my dear. There's a rainbow coming out of that bowl. You're worried. Turn around. Quit looking at the past and look at, her hand is on that bowl. And wow, there's a hand handing that bowl. Is that what that is? I'm sorry. Do you see a hand under that bowl? I see that. I see an Ace of Cups right there. And that's in the traditional image, which is from the Rider-Waite deck, that there is a hand offering you this cup of love. So see that. See your victory. See this love. We get the 6 of Cups. This is a wonderful place to be in. This is nostalgia. It is often telling us to look ahead. And I see the old guy with the dog, the silver-haired guy, and instead of going backwards to this child, this inner child, that is actually that stairway towards ascension, towards a new world, the end of an old and the beginning of something new, a sense of rebirth here. And to look to that, it's time to quit lamenting. Some people have been very privileged in this world, and we're very anxious about losing what we had. And some of us have never had a safe world to live in. And we're ready to make a world safer for young people in our lives. Some of us are ready to turn away from what was and to build something better. I fear that I have just said a Democratic Party slogan. And here we go. Here she is, the Page of Wands, this young, passionate person who is just throwing that wand up into that swirl of energy, that golden light again. Let me just remind you, you have this wand. This is you. You are the Queen of Wands. You are the High Priestess. You are in the wheel. You are powerless and fated here. And that's anxiety producing. But the 9 of Swords is a state of mind that you may leave. And the advice here is, look at your victory. Look at what is being offered to you. Build this new world for young people. And really, let your youthful, hopeful inspiration and creativity, let it fly. Let it out. Okay, the future is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups here. What is this future? Can we glimpse it? Can we get a sense of it? Maybe we want to change it. Okay, we got the 7 of Swords. This is somebody who's sneaking off. He's stolen those feathers from those ravens. Why is he sneaking off? That raven is saying, hey, he took my feathers. So I tend to think of this as a card that's about, that's not a good card. I don't like getting this card, and I don't like it for the future. I see a city. I see kind of a cold landscape. I see this sunlight, though. I see that golden light that we've been seeing everywhere, that sun that gives us hope. And it's shedding its light on this dishonesty, right? So the Queen of Cups, this is our future. It looks good. And a part of what's happening here is that dishonesty is being revealed. Violence. Look, he has a knife in his hand. Or they have a knife in their hand. All right, we get the Page of Swords. Young, chatty, has lots of ideas. Head in a book, truth bringer, the Page of Swords. Can be a little bit annoying, but I love how she has walked across from one cliff to another on that little stick. And I love the birds flying around her. I think it's good to have lots of ideas now. And I think it's really good to listen to the young people in our world for those ideas. And see again that golden light, that portal, that world of possibilities here. And finally, we get the Hanged Man. This is new perspective. This is waiting, hanging out and seeing what happens. So the future is, well, look for yourself. This is the future. I see that yellow light. I see that portal. And I also see that we're going to have to wait. Even in what we can see of the future here, it's not totally obvious what's going to happen. Dishonesty is going to be revealed. There are new ideas and new perspectives. And overall, this is the rise of a feminine, emotional, heart-driven future. And I think that's good. We're anxious. The world has ended. We don't see yet what the next world is going to look like. But we are very busy. You are, and the people around you are busy envisioning and manifesting that beautiful new world. That's what I see here. It's a sobering message. I'll admit that. Even though I see tons of light, it resonates with my own natural optimism. That metal in me makes me cautiously optimistic. Dogs are pessimistic in the Chinese zodiac, and the metal tempers that. And I have worked in my life to shift from being negative, fearful, conspiracy theorizing, towards being in the hope, which I'll be the first to tell you, sometimes I do get my heart broken. And I sometimes get really angry that I ever hoped when I get disappointed. And this is a very kind of mature future here. And she is definitely sitting right by the edge of the ocean waters, right? And we see lots of ocean here. This is the present. We see the ocean licking at the land. We've got a winter coming here. A winter of waiting, a season of waiting, a season of hoping, of manifesting. And that's what we can do right now. We can do that and we can vote. Okay. I hope that was helpful or interesting or useful in some way for you. Thank you.